$438 billion in one quarter. 155% growth feels like a typo.
Not a typo. It is the AI arms race meeting cheap debt. 12 mega deals over 10 billion.
Oh, please. Cheap debt is doing the heavy lifting, not AI FOMO. Danone is dropping $1 billion on Huel. Since when is powdered influencer protein artificial intelligence?
Maybe the shaker bottles are smart now. But speaking of crazy premiums, wait until you see the math on this Ecolab deal. The rundown. 155%. I'm still staring at this WTW report trying to find the typo.
There is no typo, Nate. $438 billion in completed deal value for Q1. 12 mega deals over 10 billion. They have not seen volume like this since 2008.
Eased financing conditions are a hell of a drug. The debt markets finally thawed out and everyone went shopping.
It is not just the financing, it is the AI panic. Every board is terrified of being left behind. Just look at Ecolab dropping $4.75 billion on CoolIT Systems.
See, that is exactly where I push back. Ecolab is a water and hygiene company. Why are they paying almost $5 billion for liquid cooling tech? Bankers are just slapping an AI sticker on plumbing companies and charging a massive premium.
Because data centers run incredibly hot, Nate. AI chips literally melt without it. It is a backdoor AI play and a brilliant one. If the plumbing keeps the servers from catching fire, the premium is justified. I read the growth projections in the CoolIT filing. The math works.
Fine, I will concede the data center plumbing, but tell me how you justify Danone paying $1 billion for Huel.
Wait, the tech bro protein sludge?
The very same, the influencer meal replacement. Danone is a legacy yogurt empire, and now they are buying powdered food for guys who do not have time to chew.
$1 billion is steep, but Danone needs growth. Their traditional dairy margins are stagnant. I genuinely want to see the customer acquisition costs on this because Huel's marketing spend has to be astronomical.
Speaking of buying growth, Gilead Sciences is doing what they do best, $2.2 billion for Ouro Medicines to expand their pipeline. Plus, we had Cyclerion Therapeutics and Corsana Biosciences signing an all-stock merger.
Pharma is staying busy.
Almost as busy as the sports desk. Rip City Rising officially snagged a majority stake in the Portland Trail Blazers today. The courtside ownership drama is finally over.
I love a clean cap table on a sports franchise.
So we have pharma, sports, yogurt, and AI plumbing. It is a chaotic mix.
And it is not slowing down. Tomorrow we are watching Novartis try to finalize their $2 billion buyout of Sinovation.
Assuming the European Commission actually gives them regulatory clearance, which is exactly what we need to talk about next. The big one, $438 billion in one quarter. I had to refresh the WTW report 3 times this morning because I genuinely thought my terminal was glitching.
It's not glitching. That's a 155% jump from last year. And here's the stat that actually made me spill my coffee. 12 mega deals over $10 billion closed between January and March. 12.
The bankers are officially ordering the good steak again. That's the highest quarterly total for mega deals since they started tracking this stuff in 2008.
Which is exactly the year that makes me sweat when people start celebrating historic deal volume.
Oh, come on, Maya. This isn't 2008. The debt markets finally thawed out, and every corporate board in America is terrified of missing the AI boat. It's a classic arms race.
Sure, the AI arms race is the convenient narrative, but look at how it's actually playing out. It isn't just sexy software deals. Look at Ecolab buying CoolIT Systems for $4.75 billion.
I love this deal. This is exactly my favorite kind of transaction.
You love a corporate water hygiene company buying a liquid cooling manufacturer for almost $5 billion? Please explain that to me, because I read the footnotes on this release and the valuation multiple is completely out of touch with reality.
You have to think about the plumbing. AI data centers are basically just giant ovens. They run so incredibly hot that traditional air cooling doesn't work anymore. Ecolab already handles water treatment for these massive server farms. Buying CoolIT means they now own the entire liquid cooling infrastructure. It's the ultimate picks and shovels play.
I understand the strategic fit. They want to be the one-stop shop for data center thermal management. But Nate, $4.75 billion? For hardware? They're paying a massive premium just so they can say AI on their next earnings call.
They're paying for a moat. If you don't own the cooling tech right now, you get priced out of the data center expansion entirely. You have to pay up for the land grab.
I think they got caught up in the Q1 frenzy. Eased financing is great until you overpay for a very expensive server fridge. I need to see the integration data before I call this a win.
Spoken like a true skeptic, but hey, if you want to deal with a truly bizarre strategic fit, how about Danone buying Huel?
Oh my god. $1 billion for the official sludge of Silicon Valley.
Hey, I drank Huel during my banking analyst years. It's highly efficient.
You drank it because you didn't have time to chew your food. A legacy French dairy company buying a Tech Bro meal replacement powder is peak 2026 M&A.
Danone desperately wants that sweet influencer demographic.
They want high margins, and traditional yogurt is completely flat. But speaking of legacy assets changing hands, the NBA ownership landscape just got a massive shakeup out west. We need to talk about Rip City Rising snagging the Portland Trailblazers right after this. Voices.
So WTW just put out their quarterly deal monitor, and they're practically doing cartwheels over there. 12 mega deals closed between January and March. That's the highest quarterly total since they started tracking this stuff in 2008.
Right. And they're attributing the 155% surge in Q1 deal value to eased financing and, quote, the relentless corporate arms race for AI capabilities, which is exactly where I have to call bullshit.
Oh, come on. $438 billion in a single quarter doesn't happen without a massive tech narrative driving it.
But look at the actual deals, Nate. Ecolab buying CoolIT Systems for $4.75 billion. Every market watcher is slapping an AI sticker on that because CoolIT does liquid cooling for data centers. It's plumbing, not an algorithm.
Maya liquid cooling is literally what keeps the NVIDIA chips from melting through the floor. That is absolutely an AI deal. I guarantee the bankers pitching it called it an AI deal.
You can call a tractor an AI deal if you squint hard enough at the GPS monitor. I'm just saying we're stretching the definition of artificial intelligence to justify these multiples.
Spoken like a true cynic. But fine, let's talk about a deal with absolutely zero AI angle. Danone is swallowing up Huel for a cool $1 billion.
Wait, really? The sludge that tech bros drink when they forget to chew real food.
Hey, I survived on that sludge during my analyst years. Don't knock the sludge. It's an influencer darling, and Danone clearly wants that direct-to-consumer demographic.
$1 billion for powdered oats and pea protein. I guess the real arms race is gastrointestinal.
I'm choosing to ignore that visual, but speaking of heavy digestion, Novartis has a pending $2 billion breast cancer drug acquisition to finalize tomorrow, and the European Commission is warming up their rubber stamps.
Let's see if they actually approve it, or if they drag Novartis through the regulatory mud first. Spill the tea?
I just cannot picture the Danone executive board chugging a shaker bottle of beige sludge.
Hey, that beige sludge is a lifestyle aesthetic for the modern tech bro, Nate. And Danone is paying $1 billion for the privilege of bottling it.
$1 billion for Huel. I mean, my inner banker respects the exit, but the brand mismatch is hilarious. You have a legacy French dairy company buying the official meal replacement of people who think chewing is a waste of productivity.
It actually makes perfect sense if you look at the macro data. Companies are absolutely flush right now. WTW just put out their Q1 monitor. We hit $438 billion in completed deal value this quarter.
Up 155% year over year, right?
Exactly. Eased financing is a hell of a drug. Plus 12 mega deals over $10 billion. This Huel buyout is just Danone catching the FOMO virus. It is a peak market desperation buy.
Oh, come on, Maya. It is not desperation. It is a brilliant distribution play. Danone puts Huel in every grocery store cooler in Europe overnight. They take it from a direct-to-consumer niche to mass market.
Or they ruin the edgy indie vibe that makes people buy it in the first place. I will believe the synergy when I see the revenue numbers next year.
Fair enough. But speaking of massive flexes, how about Rip City Rising finally taking the majority stake in the Portland Trail Blazers?
Now that is an acquisition I get. NBA valuations are completely detached from traditional metrics. You are buying a cultural asset, not a discounted cash flow model.
Spoken like someone who secretly wants courtside seats.
I prefer reading the footnotes from my couch, but if you want to talk about real valuation models based on actual science, we need to look at what is happening in pharma tomorrow.
Oh, the Novartis deal? $2 billion for Sinovation's breast cancer drug.
Exactly. Let's see if that math holds up. Tomorrow's radar.
Tomorrow morning, I'm constantly refreshing my feed for the Danone and Huel filing. $1 billion for influencer protein powder.
You're obsessed with the tech bro meal replacement. The actual filing to watch tomorrow is Novartis. They're finalizing that $2 billion buyout for Sinovation's breast cancer drug.
$2 billion is barely a rounding error right now. Look at the WTW data. 12 mega deals closed in the first quarter. 12. That's the highest since 2008.
I read the footnotes, Nate. They're crediting the 155% deal value surge to the AI arms race. But I completely disagree. It's just cheaper debt. Eased financing is doing the heavy lifting here, not AI hype.
Oh, come on. Every pitch deck I saw last month had AI slapped on page 3. It's absolutely driving these premium valuations.
Slapping AI on a slide doesn't magically clear European regulators. Keep an eye on the EC tomorrow. If they rubber stamp Novartis as fast as they just cleared Swix Biopharma, the pharma M&A floodgates are officially wide open.
I'll take AI hype over reading regulatory filings any day. We'll see exactly who's right tomorrow.